Yo, what up, guys? Bradicus here. Today we have special guest, my buddy, back again to ask me questions. So I'm excited for that. Let's get at it, man. I'll leave it to you. I'll leave the show to you, bro.
Hey man, nice to be back. We're just hanging out today. Anything crazy? Like, what did you do today? Because I know your life is extraordinary. What did you do today?
Well, it's not that crazy, man. What I usually do, I go to the gym some days. I have a girl sleepover. She leaves, and before I just did like lots of cryptocurrency stuff, but now I'm not worried about that. I'm more so like just like planning out videos and content and stuff, and doing that stuff. And when I have girls over, I just either I have to get rid of them or they can stay over for longer. I cook some food. I mean, just basic stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Not anything anyone's interested in.
Okay. So, when you, as far as like different professions, you have different tools of the trade. For example, if you're a carpenter, you might have a protractor, you might have a saw, a drill. Are there any tools of the trade for a pickup artist?
Tools of the trade.
Yeah, like some necessities that you should have or have to have.
Comfortable shoes when you're doing Daygame.
Okay.
You want shoes that you can walk a while in without getting your feet tired, because I'll go out and do some Daygame and my feet will get tired, and you don't want get a blister or your feet bleeding, so you want some good shoes. I mean, that's very essential. You want a shirt that you don't get sweaty in, and pants you don't get sweaty in. You should wear like nice fancy pants and shirt, and like I'd go out and look good for the coach for the Daygame and stuff. Wear like a suit or something, but I'd just be sweating like a piggy in there, so it'd stink, and that would just like if a girl got clothes, she'd smell it. And I'd be like, oh no, it's not good either. It's good if the country's cold, right? But if I was in a cold country, I could wear like the suit and whatnot. But if I'm in a hot country, absolutely not. So being smart with your clothing, right? Yeah, I mean, when you maybe bring some gum, so if you kiss a girl, your breath doesn't smell bad. Have some lip balm so you don't have chapped lips when you go kiss the girl. If your hair is fucked up like mine, I don't really care. You can just have a brush or something or a comb. Have some money in your wallet so you can get a drink or a coffee with the girl at least. Yeah, at least be able to buy a coffee, something like that. And it's always good to be prepared to have an apartment in the middle of the city or live nearby where you're doing the approaches, so you can just bring the go over quickly, right? So, but that's not having anything necessarily. But wherever you're living, you can have stuff in your house that would make the girl more comfortable when you come over. I know some guys out there that kind of decorate their house in a way that makes it more interesting for girls when they come over. I don't really care, but some guys might have like neon lights or colorful lights and like cool things that girls might see. They might have like decorations that might attract people. I don't know. People have really thought this out, Having a TV with Netflix, that's pretty useful. I don't yeah. Having a little bit of food, so if the girl's hungry, you can cook. Man, this is basic stuff. I don't know if this is not a question I've ever answered before, actually. No one's ever asked me this question. So I've never really had to think about this, but it's the basic stuff. Because there's no you just really need your legs and your willingness to go and meet women, really, for the most part. But I know people don't want that answer. That's not, people want more of an answer than that, so yeah.
Okay, and that kind of leads me to my next question. As far as when you're going out there, whether it's your cold approach because you're a master at that, and also like during your dates, is there a general theme as far as your attitude that you want to be cognitive to maintain or have when you are doing your cold approach and in a date?
I want to go out and enjoy the day and just enjoy the time. If it's the type of girl I'm interested in, I want to go out and be engaged in the date and just like stay focused in the conversation and have a good time.
Okay.
With it, I'm not necessarily just there to fuck the girl. I'm also there to enjoy myself and learn something new and just learn about the girl and have a connection with her, you know? So that is part of my focus. If the girl's not really my type, the focus kind of shifts away from that to more like, well, maybe it'll just be a hookup or something. And if, you know, the hookup's on the table and I'm just wasting my time at that point, so I might just bounce. But if I'm into the girl, you know, it's less and less about the sex and more about the connection, which leads to sex most of the time anyway. So I don't worry too much about that. It's more so like, I'm not worried about if she'll come home with me or not. I'm more so like focused on creating a good connection, because I know that is what makes the girl want you anyway. Yeah.
So, like for example, some different attitudes might be like, okay, well, I'm gonna be playful, or I'm gonna be inquisitive, or I'm gonna try to be empathetic to really try to understand the girl. Is there any of those things that you try to embody when you're messaging? Or you're just the cool suave guy, or you're just you're just like, oh, I'm just the new guy, I'm a foreigner, you know, I need some help, or you know, you could show me around. Like, is there something like that
I'm trying to engage her in conversation, get to know her. I'm not checking my phone all the time, and I'm trying to encourage her not to do that also. But while I'm on the date with her, I'm just I'm trying to get to know her. So I'll just be figuring out what she's into and talk to her about that. But I'm not going to have a pointless conversation. There's things, I think I might have already talked about in the previous video, things not to talk about on a date, right? I think I already went over that.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, like, you know, don't talk about religion and or like family and stuff like that. But yeah, if the conversation is good, and I can shift it to a better conversation, like you can talk about things that are relevant to both of you, so you can find commonality. So, you know, if I'm into ancient history and she is also, I can talk about that, and I know it's going to connect well with her. She's a lawyer and I'm into law. We can talk a little bit about that, and there's commonality there. So the commonality is good. Whereas if you're just talking about something that one of you doesn't have in common with the other, that's not as good. If you talk about something that neither of you like, well, that's just pointless, right? So that's why talking about the weather is not really the best topic, because it's not relevant to either of you. Both of you don't care about it, right? So at least talk about something that's important to you, so it's relevant to you, and you're engaged. So it comes down to engagement, right? So if you talk about something that's not relevant, it's hard to be engaged with. So you're not going to be engaged with it. The girl's not going to be engaged with it. It's not going to be the best. At least talk about something you're engaged with. We can talk something that the girl's engaged with, preferably both. And that gets the girl's attention. And when you have the girl's attention, then you can get her interest. So really, to get a girl's interest, you need her attention first. You need the attention. The engagement comes from the conversation, then she become more attracted to you, more comfortable with you. It's hard to get that without any conversation at all, right? So just finding the flow of the conversation. You go on a lot of dates, you get a gist of what goes well, what goes bad, and you just avoid those things that are shitty, and you just get a natural feeling for it, right? This is the topic to talk about. You know, there are some topics you can talk about piercings, you can talk about tattoos, and if you talk about tattoos, there's touch involved. There's just lots of shit you can talk about. I mean, I just said two things. You can talk about, you know, what you did on the weekend. You can relate that to drinking and going somewhere else. You can talk about something, you can talk about traveling. You can talk about something you can talk about being a good cook, cooking steak, and then going and doing that in like a few minutes because you're hungry, and you can cook for her or something, you know. But you know, the connection is not necessarily what you say, it's how you say and how you make her feel. And that's a combination of, you know, staring at her, touching her at the right time, and understanding her reaction and adapting to that, all those things, and a little bit of the conversation topic, but it's less of the topic than you think. As long as the topic's relevant, that's good, you know.
And those are good points as far as building connection with.
Because guys always say, what's the right thing to say at the right time? That's not really the exact answer. The only time there's a right thing to say at the right time is really an objection. So if the girl's like, if the girl says something like, I think you say that to every girl, or I don't know you very well, or I don't go to a guy's house on the first date, then you can have like a canned line of something to say, because it's a very specific example. So you could say something like, I don't have any sexual expectations, or don't worry, we're just gonna another place for a bit. If you're uncomfortable, you can leave at any time. It's all good. I'm not a serial killer. Chill. You can say those things, right? There's specific things to say, but usually to an objection or something.
You said what? Go somewhere and chill? What did you say?
Yeah, we can go somewhere else and chill. Because you need to get her out of the venue. Because you want to pull her, you got to leave. So you just go
somewhere and chill.
Yeah, you don't say. I never say let's go to my house. But I already talked about it in the last video, so I don't want to repeat myself.
Yep. And so, just being in plenty of dating situations, there's a saying in the United States: you got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. Is there any instances?
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah. Is there any instances where you would meet a girl and you're just like, nah, nope.
Okay,
next,
so first of all,
it.
if it's from a dating app and she's not quite like the photo, I'll bounce pretty quickly. If I meet her and she's like a gold digger type girl, or I can see that she's looking for money or something like that, I'll bounce pretty quickly. Or if I feel like the vibe is off, because she might be like just someone that doesn't vibe with me. She might be one of those types of girls that just gets offended about everything you say, or wants to always prove a point and likes to be right, or she just doesn't have any feminine energy. She's totally masculine. Or you meet her and she's like, she's bitching about her ex-boyfriend, and then she just won't stop going on about him, and then she's just revealing all this information about how she's not really the best, or she's telling about her 3 kids, and that she's a broke single mom, and she keeps going on dates with guys and they never want her. She's had so many one night stands and she's sick of it. She doesn't want to do it anymore. So it's like, I'm going to be the guy that breaks you out of the one. So you just had sex with all these guys, and I'm going to be the one that you stop doing it with and marry. I'm going to be that guy, and you have 3 kids. No, I'm good. I mean, there's a reason why you had a lot of one night stands, because these guys didn't want you for anything more than the one night stand, because of your situation literally sucks, right? So that's the date I'm more likely to bounce on. If the girl's feminine, beautiful, good energy, I'm staying in there unless there's something else that's wrong, right? But if it's a single mom with lots of mental health issues and is bitching about all the guys she met, the guy that fucked her last night that blocked her, she's bitching to me about that. I'm probably gonna bounce. I don't care if you're pretty. If you just fucked the guy last night and you're bitching to me about how he blocked you and that you're a single mom and you deserve better, I don't want to be there either, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of situations you might get into, and that's not the greatest, right? It's not really worth it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So
sorry, it's pretty ridiculous,
no.
but it happens,
Yeah.
Can you relate?
Well, I think some of the best dates are the ones that you end early.
Because the next date's good.
Yeah, and you just don't waste your time.
Well, I mean, obviously it wasn't a date per se, because nothing happened from the date, but you did the right thing. So you made the right decision. You saved the time. It's like if you've invested in something and it's just going to go down forever, the best decision you could have made is cut your losses and sell it, because it's just going to keep going down, right? It's the same example here, right? No matter when you get out of the date, that was the best decision. It's like if you're in a marriage and it's like a completely failed and broken marriage. It doesn't matter how long it takes to end it. When you end it, that was a good decision, and at that point, it was smart to do that, right? Yeah. So you're on that date, it's going nowhere, or it's a date with a girl that you don't want to be with. I mean, other than a one night stand, and especially if you don't want the one night stand, you got to. It is a great date because you ended it. Yeah, I get the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with dating, a lot of guys who are not up to speed of where you're at as far as your abilities and skills, they go with this angle. I call it big baller game. And let me give you some examples.
Well, I think I already know.
Yeah, for your listening audience. They look at my Rolly girl, and
fuck.
I have a Ferrari at home. Look at this picture of my Ferrari, and
rented Ferrari maybe.
Well, it could be true or it can not be, but either way, they're trying to get sexual attraction by just saying how much of a big baller
you should be horny because I have this object.
Yeah. Or
that is perceived to be very, very, very good.
yeah,
But it has no reflection of me as a person. It doesn't mean anything about me as a person apart from I think that this is awesome to have, right?
In addition to that, another example of what they could do, not so much tangible items. It could be like, oh, I have this status. Oh, I have this job. And
Yep.
yep. And
Yeah, when I first started game, one of my wingmen who doesn't know anything about game, I'd be in a set doing well with the girl, and he's like, "Bro, I'm gonna help you out." I'm like, "Okay, do so. Help me out. I'm gonna wing you." He's like, "Oh, my friend, he earns like $100 now. He has a good job. He has lots of money." And I'm like, "Oh, you're winging for me?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I did you such a big favor. She's gonna want you now." I'm like, "Oh, great. Now the girl wants me because I earn a certain amount of money dollars." He's like, "Yeah, dude, I winged you good, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, he didn't get it. He didn't get it." If the girl is interested because of that, it's not the girl you want because she's expecting something from you. You want the girl that likes you for you, not for your money.
Okay.
So these guys going out flashing their Rolexes and flashing all their money, they're gonna first of all they're probably taking these girls on fancy days, all this expensive stuff, buying the girls all this stuff, and the girl doesn't even like you more because of it. She's just there for the money, and if the money and the fancy shit disappears, so does the girl. You don't want to train yourself to have that kind of game where you need money and fancy stuff to have the girls around, because as soon as it disappears, so do the girls. You want to have the girls around regardless of what you have, because it's just reflects more of who you are as a person. You're developing yourself. You're not using some card or something fake to make something happen. It's kind of similar for paying for prostitutes, but not. It's quite. I mean, it's different because you're not really paying for sex directly, but it's kind of a similar dynamic.
Yeah.
In some way.
Okay. So you don't include any of this quote unquote big baller game. So like for example,
the guys that go to the club and get a VIP table, they spend like $5,000 on it or whatever. Then the girls go over, get free drinks from the table, and then after the girls are drunk, they leave the table and then find the guys they actually want. So they're just using the big baller guys for what they want, and then maybe it works out well for the girl. The big baller guy with the table is the girl kind of guy she's attracted to.
Yeah.
Well, then that's great. She's to go with him, but she was attracted to you anyway. She didn't need the table. She didn't need you to be a big baller. She just needed you to be you. And if that's what she wanted, you didn't need that. You would have just got her anyway. But what's the real negative if she just uses you for that stuff you have and then goes with the guy she wants anyway? That's kind of the real shitty situation. And you can even land in that situation without being a big baller, because girls can kind of try to frame you as a big baller. So you're just a regular guy and the girl's like, "Oh, you're rich. Oh, fancy, go to a fancy restaurant. You're a good guy, right? You like to treat me well. I'm a princess. You want to be good to women, right?
You're a gentleman, right?
You're a gentleman, right? You want to be good to women, right? You're a good guy. You're not going to be bad to women. You wouldn't ever say no to a woman, right? That guy. Yeah. Because, I hate when guys do that, and I would hate to reject you. Seriously, you seem like such a nice guy, sort of. Yeah. I'd hate to do that to you.
Yeah.
You take it to a restaurant, and then, well, thanks for the free dinner, darling. Mwah, I'm going to see my friends now. Yeah. And it's not her friends; it's like some guy that she's hooking up with. You don't want that situation, right?
Well,
and
are you going to be
the big baller guys are more likely to get in that situation. Now, you might actually be a confident, awesome big baller guy with a lot of game. That's obviously a lot better, because then the girls are more likely to like you for who you are and stay around. But you don't want to fall into the trap of using shit to get girls and they don't stay anyway, or they're only staying because of that. And as soon as that goes, they leave. No, don't do that. It's gonna make you depressed in the long run, make you feel shit. You're not really getting anything wholesome from it. I'm telling you, from a person that's met thousands of women, tens of thousands of women, and had sex with over 1,000 women, that the best situation, it's not really the sex all the time, it's the connection and everything leading up to the sex that's a lot of the pleasure. So just leaving all those important parts out just so you can have the girl, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not living life to the fullest.
Okay. But this goes back to that. There's a concept called demonstration of higher value, or DHV.
This is an old one.
Yes.
This comes back to the prehistoric days of pickup.
And it kind of relates to the last question. Do you use any demonstrations of higher value in your daily pickup when it comes to the cold
When
approach?
I'm talking to her, I assume it. So I think, oh, the way I'm talking is manly, and
Okay.
the way I'm talking and the way I'm acting is alpha. And if there's other people around, I'm more likely to step up. I'm not trying to do it really hard, but I'm more likely to step up than they are, and it kind of like just puts me in that role of usually seeming like I have higher value. In terms of actively demonstrating it, I don't go in my head, I'm like, well, how do I make myself look higher value in this situation? I don't really do it like on purpose, but I think a lot of it happens subconsciously, and I think that's the best way, because a lot of it is good to demonstrate higher value, and if you're in a situation and you can kind of DHV, you might as well, but you can fall into this trap where you try to DHV and you try to show off, and you're not actually DHVing, you're actually DLVing yourself, because you're being try hard, right? When you say to go, oh, showing her pictures of like, oh, look at my watches I have, check out my bank account balance. You're not DHVing, man. That's not a DHV. You're showing off, and you try hard. And if anything, you're DLVing, because you're demonstrating to the girl that you don't have a personality, you don't have anything behind yourself, and you're just demonstrating that you need something to get her, which is actually showing her that you're clueless, which is actually is demonstrating money, but demonstrating no social intuition, no social value, like lack of confidence in yourself in the situation. So you're actually demonstrating lower value. I think higher value usually comes from how you act and what you say in the moment, rather than what you can prove to the girl with like some outside thing. I think it's more so like your ability to respond to something quickly at any given time, and your ability to be confident in yourself and just handle a situation that just displays higher value. Now, a lot of the time, girls don't know how high value you are and how cool you are, but that happens over time. But I don't really worry about that too much, because I think if the girl thinks I'm lower value, trying to prove to her that I'm high value doesn't really work.
That's a low value thing to do.
Yeah. So I don't
Look at me.
Yeah, so I just don't worry about it, because inherently trying to prove that you're good doesn't work. So it's just like subtle stuff that's the best way, right? So yeah, I don't know, if you just if you have you can put something on your wallpaper that the girl accidentally sees if you want to show off something that's coincidental. So if you're showing her pictures of like stuff you do, and then in the background your Ferrari's there, but you're not showing her your Ferrari, that would be the best way to do it. So if you're showing her pictures of your dogs, look, my dogs are cute, and in the background where the dogs are, there's a Ferrari there, she was going like, holy shit, what's that car in the background? You're like, I just bought that last year, but don't worry about that. That's going to be way higher value, right? Yeah. And she's going to be curious, and she's going to keep asking questions about it. You're like, hey, don't ask questions about that. I'm actually here to get to know you. This is not about my Ferrari. This is about us connecting. That's the best way to do it, right? She has to figure it out on her own and be genuinely interested in it for it to work. That's you wouldn't show her that directly, and a lot of guys will. So that's how you do it. If I want the girl to know that I'm like super intelligent, right? Just say I won all these competitions or something, or I have like a high IQ. I'd want her to find that out indirectly. Maybe I just keep talking about things that are smart. She'll figure it out, or maybe in my house is like a certificate or something showing I'm really smart. She'll see it and bring it up or something, like stuff like that. But doing like, oh look, I won all these awards for being smart, it's not gonna quite do the trick, So if you want the girl to see you have a high value in something, let her find it on her own.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've heard this in the past, and I don't know if you actually implement this in your game, but this is an old school one, and this is, hey, you got to create jealousy in a girl, and then a girl doesn't even know how much she likes you until there is some jealousy.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that, but you don't really want to go there, because the drama is a waste of time. It creates fights, and you have to mentally replay everything, and you sacrifice part of your soul and your energy and your time that day to deal with all that jealousy and all that drama. And ultimately, you could be meeting more girls, you could be feeling better, you could be doing a lot of stuff, making business in that time. Instead, you're dealing with this drama just so the girl could be a little bit more interested in you, because she's so confused with herself. She doesn't know what the fuck she wants in life because she's so immature, right? You're playing that game. Nah, man. You don't need to play that game.
Okay.
If the girl doesn't like you and needs drama and jealousy to realize she likes you, well, that's on her. Like, don't buy into that. She can go fuck off and do that on her own. And when she wants to come back, she can, right? She gets jealous and all that shit. She can do that on her own. You're not doing that with me. I'm not getting involved with that. So I don't play into that drama. But yeah, girls would do that, and they want you to buy into it. No, I'm not buying into it. But yeah, that whole thing can make girls want you more. Yes, but it's a waste of mental energy. Really. What do you think?
Well, we do have a mutual friend, and he doesn't use it as a tactic or a tool, but it comes up automatically because he's surrounded by so many women.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that happens.
But I didn't know if you were manufacturing the jealousy.
I'm talking about a normal guy and a normal girl, like in a normal relationship where jealousy happens, where there's no real reason for there to be jealousy, but there is. But in this circumstance, you're obviously talking about Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well then jealousy is kind of granted considering this is a very unique situation. So I don't understand the girls being jealous in that situation because, you know, you might have 20 girls there and been with several other girls that day, and then the girls understandably jealous about that. I understand. It's more so like the normal guy that is just hanging out, he's with his girlfriend or on a date, and then, you know, some girl looks at him and he doesn't look back, he doesn't care, and the girl's already jealous and making a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Something like that. Just nitpicking. She's trying to make a fight out of nothing. That's what I'm talking about. But that's more substance to that. I mean, but that Justin's a unique scenario. I don't think most people would fit into that.
Well, I've heard of people like, oh, look, this is my ex-girlfriend. She's a supermodel, and maybe a way to create jealousy. But I didn't know, coming from you, is that something like you would implement that in your game? Like, oh yeah, well my ex is this, my ex is that, and then
no, I want to avoid it, bro. I want to avoid girls getting jealous.
Good.
I want to avoid all that. Yeah. I don't want it on purpose.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I feel like girls, in some circumstances it might work well. It's not. I feel like the other stuff I do makes up for that. I don't need the jealousy.
Okay.
I don't think I have enough holes for the jealousy to make it better. And the jealousy would just happen naturally. Girls get jealous. You don't have to try to get them more jealous than they already are.
Yeah.
They're already insanely jealous as it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, as far as last minute resistance, what is
this is one thing a guys always ask, no matter where you're in the world. LMR.
So, and every woman's different. And what do you do when, of course, when the woman wants to stop, you know, no one has to do anything that they're not comfortable with. But in general, what do you suggest for LMR? A last minute resistance.
Some guys think LMR is like when the girl won't won't even kiss them or won't even touch them. That's not what LMR is.
I mean, if you're in the bed.
LMR is when you're in the bed and you're starting to get your clothes off and you've already been kissing, you're already touching each other. And when you get to the area, I don't want to go into these details because I don't want to get cancelled. But when you start to touch the more sexual areas of her body, then she's like, oh wait, I can't stop. Or she makes an objection at that point. That's LMR, when you're very close to fully closing. And then she brings up the resistance. That's kind of what LMR is. Well, what you usually do in that situation, you take a step back, make her feel comfortable, go back to kissing, and you try again. If that doesn't work, you try another angle. So if you went in from the front, you can try the back next time. If that doesn't work, you can try kissing her neck more, you can pull her hair more, you can do those kind of things. And just slowly get her more excited and more comfortable and do it again. And time is your ally. If that doesn't work, there are other methods. I don't know if I can talk about them on YouTube because they're very explicit. But there are methods.
Beat around the bush a little bit. You don't have to be explicit.
No, there's one that's very explicit. I don't think I can bring that up.
Okay.
There's the freeze out routine that the old mystery method used to do. So if you tried persisting and it didn't work, you can freeze it out where whatever connection you had, whatever you had before, you just stop. And instead of like kissing her and touching her, you go to your laptop and start working or doing something like that. And you freeze it out and the girl feels like she misses what was happening. And then now when you go back to doing it later, she's more likely to give in because she kind of feels like she wants it more now. So because what you've taken away from her, now she wants it again. There's also that method that can work in some situations, or you can just, try at different angles. Yeah. So do you have any more questions for me, my man?
Well, we'll save it for part 3.
All right, awesome. Well, we hit 30 minutes. That's a decent length for a video. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see this man more, comment below. Please comment below what videos you want to see and help engage this video. Click a like this video. I hate to say this, but you guys aren't liking my videos, so click the like button. Also, go check out the Bradicus Vault for all my old uncut videos. There's so many awesome videos in there that I had on my old YouTube channel that no longer exists. So bradicusvideos.com, link in the description below. You can also check out my premier course on Daygame. You can learn all about Daygame, infield, everything. I break everything down. It's awesome. It's on sale now. seduction.com, link in the description below. If you want coaching with me, BradSocial2 is my IG, or you can email me, bradicuspoa@gmail.com. So yeah, until later, I guess. See you later, and Bradicus out.